Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Dre Dillard back to you with the Hidden Huddle. I've got a very, very special guest today.
It's good.
My baby, André Cojoe. I was planning on doing this like maybe the third or fourth episode, but he is about to go back to college on a Monday. So what perfect day then to do it just a few days before he goes back. I'm excited about it. I'm a little nervous because I don't want him to give me no side eyes like he just did. See that? I felt it. No, I felt it.
I was looking at you while you were speaking.
Okay. All right. But I stated before on the teaser that I was going to have my son come up here for one of the episodes and wanted to talk to you a little about his experiences, mainly what he's going through now. Not so much about, 11U with youth football and things of that nature, but a lot of kids are getting ready to go to school. And this summer, in a few days, what am I talking about? And for the fall. So I wanted to have him on just to answer a few questions. So first of all, my son, André Cojoe, goes to the University of Texas in Austin. And he started early. He actually graduated early from high school in December, basically. Walks this Friday. And I'm very, very proud of this guy. I mean, that's probably why I'm so nervous, because I'm actually talking about it. It's one thing when a parent feels it, but when you're talking about it, it's another thing. So, André graduated from Mansfield Timberview High School in Arlington, Texas, and left. We talked about that in the last episode in January. He's been here the whole month for his summer break, which was amazing. Got a lot of training done and things of that nature. But this big guy over here, he's 6'7", correct me if I'm wrong, about 347 right about now?
Probably
not. A little bit less?
I don't know. 347 is probably a good number.
Okay, we'll stick with 347. But this is an All-American that you see before you right now, All-American Army. He definitely last year, his senior year, all-state, all-district, region, area, and he was actually the district MVP as a lineman. And that shit never happens. You know that. Normally it's running backs, quarterbacks. This guy was the district MVP. And I was like floored. I was like, what? When we heard about that. But let's get into some questions. Let's get into some questions. My bad. Let's get it. All right. One thing that's going on a lot right now, some of the kids are getting offers, meaning that if you don't know what that is, that means that colleges are recruiting young guys and they're offering them a full ride to go to the school. Okay. Tell us a little bit about that, André, like a little bit about the process. And how did you feel getting some offers, maybe from schools that you definitely wanted, and then maybe some that you did not get? Let people know how that felt, basically. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It was great for the first call to get the offer and really be sitting there and listening to it.
Let's talk about that. I'm sorry. Let's talk about that first offer you got. Let's go into a little bit of detail because that was amazing.
It was during a winter storm that we had in 2022, right?
No, 2021.
No, because I had just finished my sophomore year, and it was in February, so 2022.
No, 2021 is when we had
that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, I forgot we're in 2023.
We shut down for like 2 weeks, we couldn't go anywhere. So, 2021.
Yeah, I got the years mixed up. I forget sometimes. But, we were during a snowstorm, and one of the coaches had messaged me on Twitter saying that they were going to come after me. So, of course, I was really nervous. I was like, whoa, what does this mean? Like, am I really getting recruited by them, or are they finna offer me? So I asked one of my older teammates who was a D1 player, and he was like, yeah, you're probably going to get offered the next day. I woke up the next day to my high school head coach saying that they wanted to get on the phone with me that day. So I went and told my mom that. We pretty much waited on the couch all day till we got the call. Finally, we got the call, and the coach that texted me, we were on the phone with him. Then he forwarded us to the head coach, and Coach Sark offered me that day. And I was kind of sitting there kind of frozen. He was asking me, like, are you happy? But I was happy if he would see my face, but I was just really, like, starstruck and, like, OMG. I was just frozen there. But besides that, it was a great call. And also all the other calls I started getting afterwards, saying coaches, like, offering me and all that. It's really a great feeling to know that colleges will pay for your whole schooling just for you to come play, which really means that they see something great in you.
Awesome. Yeah, that was amazing because it was a phone call. He was on speaker and, like, not FaceTime. And he was just like, and I'm like, Andre, say something. He can't see you, but he was jumping up and down, and it was just an amazing experience. Like, that's a time that, that first offer that your child gets, you'll never forget it because, and as a parent too, I mean, it's like you're proud of your son because you don't have to pay for schooling. You're proud as a parent because he is doing something that he loves. And it was just great. And you got another one right after that too, didn't you?
Yeah, like a week later, I had got Houston.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome too. So then it starts. It's like the train has left the station. How'd you feel about that though? How did you manage that? Because going to school and people asking you about the offers and stuff, and people kind of really look at you different.
Some people kind of blew up after their first offer and just started getting calls after, like, but mine was kind of different. It was a distance between offers and all that, which kind of did get me in my head a little bit, like, dang, do some schools just not want me or something? But at the end of the day, I did realize that the schools that did take a chance on me obviously really wanted me. So I really focused on them the most, rather than the schools that, came later on. But then again, we were also coming out of COVID year and all that. You weren't able to visit schools and all that. So I understood they were still looking at the class of 2022 that was in front of me, since we did just get out of COVID year.
Right. But not only that, too, I will say that you had the schools that really wanted you. You had amazing relationships.
Yeah. I definitely
with
did.
Those schools. So that meant a lot too, because I know there's a lot of offers out there. There's some kids who have like tons of offers, but they don't have any relationship with, and I had to learn that too. These young men, they're basically taking charge of their own careers. They're on the phones with them. Sometimes you're not going to know. I knock on Andre's door and it's like, I'm on the phone with a coach. It's like, oh, dang, being a single parent, being a very authoritative, I like to be in charge, and it was kind of hard for me a little bit, but I had to learn to step back and let my son, who was at that time 15, you were 15 when you got your first offer, right?
Yeah,
to Texas, yeah, and that's that on that. But all right, next question. Let's talk a little bit about you being at UT, you starting early. How was that? You left in basically right after Christmas, going to new school 3 hours away from your mom. I think I cried more than he did. I know I know some of y'all parents, y'all going through it right now. Trust and believe. I know a few of y'all. That stuff is hard, man. Your baby about to leave, and I don't care if it's your first child, your middle child, or your last child. It's a lonely feeling, But at the end of the day, how did you feel about that? I left you that evening. Your room was all set up, and it was time to get up the next AM. And
it was honestly a good feeling being away. I wouldn't say a good feeling being away from home, but it was different. Honestly, made me feel like I was more mature since, I was living on my own. I remember I started going grocery shopping on my own, and it was like I was actually having to look for stuff. I remember that I was at home and had to get at the nearby Target. But it was really just like once I got there, it was like it's time to really lock in because I came here for a reason. I graduated early because I want to play. So it was really like I just got to stay focused.
So how did you get out of your own head sometimes when certain things happen? Like, I know it's so competitive. Like,
I never really got in my head too much about too much. Really, I would go watch film with one of the coaches, and he would just be like, y'all are doing good for, like, coming in early and all that. So it kind of helped me because I was also like, you know what, the freshmen last year probably went through the same thing. And it was really just like, even if I did have, like, a not-so-good practice, I just know I have to come out better the next practice. And I also know what I need to fix.
Okay, that's a good answer. So let's talk too about being redshirted. That's like a thing, something I had to learn about. And during his recruitment process, I was like, oh no, I don't want my son redshirted. I was a little naive about it, to be honest with you, because now I feel a little bit different. So if it does happen, I'm not like upset about it because it is a good thing too, How do you feel about that?
Redshirt's a perfectly fine thing. You're still going to get drafted either way if you get redshirted. All that matters is if you perform great on the field. Not even great. If you perform amazing on the field, the coaches in the NFL and all of them, the scouts will come and find you.
And how is that? Talk about that process too. How do they find you?
Just like high school. Just have good film. You got to play good.
Okay. Yeah, but let's go a little bit deeper. When you were in high school, how do recruiters actually find you? What is that process like?
By
not
outside.
Not just seeing your film, but do they come to the school?
Of course, your head coach, he will hit them up for you. And there's coaching events where they will also put you watch out for this player. Then, of course, your outside trainers who have little, know people can put words in for you. Or even some family members might be able to put words in for you.
True that. So, out of all the offers that you got, what were let's do three things that you truly had to have. No option. You had to have this, and that. And then you're like, okay, yeah, I want to go here. Not really talking about schools, but just like the things that you looked for.
Well, I looked for first on my position room, if I liked it or not, because that's who you're going to be around the most. Then afterwards, of course, the team in general. I don't really want a team that's like everybody's kind of spread off and nobody's really coming together as a team. And also my coach and really just my position coach, because that's who's really you're going to be learning everything from.
True. So what about your major and?
I didn't really worry too much about a major because you're never really you never know what's gonna happen in the future. You might change your major after your first semester. So I didn't really. I went into college wanting to major in something, but it ended up changing before I even went into college, and now it might change again going into the summer.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying.
So what?
I'm not saying it's changing. I'm just saying it could change.
Don't ever
set stone hard on a major because you never know. It might change. You might not like the class, or you might just think it's something. You get in there, you're just like, oh, this is not what I was thinking. And now you don't want to be in it no more.
Awesome. Okay. Gotcha. So, I support you, what you want to do, because it's your life. I've lived most of my career, and I want you to be happy in your occupation once, football is finished, once you are done with the NFL. So, because like I said, we manifest stuff over here. He will be going to the NFL, yeah. But let's talk about. Stop making me laugh, man.
Let's get to these questions.
Let's talk about, because I want to get in deep. I just don't want the basic little fluff
I
questions.
get that, but we need the Q&A.
Okay, what do you want me to ask you that I'm not asking you?
I don't know. I know you have some more questions. Let's go.
Well. I think this is important because I'm a very emotional type of person. You had a mentor, meaning not really an adult, but you had another kid, another teammate who mentored you.
Yeah.
And how did that help you? Because you were coming straight out of private school, going into public school, playing football from youth football. Now you started on JV or freshman.
I didn't start on
JV. Started
I
on
went freshman in varsity.
Yeah, right. Freshman varsity. Okay. But how did you feel about having that kid mentor you? You can say his name if you want to. I've called out names, so it just depends on how you feel.
It's a lot of them. It's really the whole entire class that was in front of me. They kind of all mentored me. I just asked every single one of them questions and got tips. And, of course, I watched them, all their film, to really understand how to get better in my position, which is something you have to do. You can't just keep practicing, like, working on your craft. You also have to watch the film of other good people just to get, like, take some things out that they do.
I like that. So are you mentoring anyone, even though you're gone? You left.
I wouldn't say mentoring my position, but I wouldn't even say mentoring. I'm just really just looking out for someone. Just make sure that they stay on the right track because I want to see them make it forward.
That's what's up. So, like, what do you do? Like, because I think it's important, like, especially these days, kids are kind of like, some of them are misguided. It's just a different world we're living in now. So being a friend to someone who might be wandering off, how would you like bring them back in and get focused?
Well, I mean,
when you see that their future could be amazing, or maybe the future is not amazing. Either way.
I mean, if you really care for somebody, you would want to see them make it, like, do good at what they want, whatever they want to do. So it's kind of just like your heart would appeal to them and want to help them out. But I mean, if you didn't really like them or really care for as much, then I understand, like, the one or two is like, hey man, lock in. But if they don't really want to do it, then it's fine. But like, if you genuinely care about what they want or care about that person, you'll actually, like, maybe pull them to the side, have a one-on-one conversation, like, come on now, like, all that.
Okay, that's up. So what are your plans for the summer when you go back? What's, besides schooling, what else are you going to be doing?
I mean, we have summer workouts almost every single day. Then we have, of course, recruits coming for officials and all that. It's a very packed month.
Yeah, and talk about what your extracurricular practices that we've been doing, that you've been doing, this last couple of weeks, every AM.
Just some early morning conditioning training, really working on explosiveness and all that, and also some good stretching also to open up my hips, which is very needed in the sport I play.
True. Like I said before in the last podcast, the first episode, that as a parent, I feel that it's extremely important that your son does extra. Going to practice is just not going to cut it. You need the trainer. You need conditioning coaches. You're not going to talk about your muscle recovery, no, muscle manipulation. That's what it's called, that you had done.
It's real good. Some areas where I was really tight at, it's now loosened up some. So it's a very good thing. Most athletes should, not even most, all athletes should get it done, even though it's very painful, but it's a good prize at the end.
Right, because you were walking different, and I think that is like extremely important. Hydration is extremely important. Parents, you got to make sure that you're going the extra mile. Go the extra mile, because if you don't, there's going to be another kid who's going the extra mile that your kid might lose their spot, period.
Yeah.
And then what? So start early. Start in youth football. It's never, for me, I feel that it's never too late. So, all right, well, I'm not going to keep y'all too much. He's getting a little antsy over here, but I had to have him come, and I talk about him all the time, so why not introduce him early?
Mm-hmm.
So before we leave, how about telling everybody your most memorable time on the field? I don't care if it was youth football or up to the spring ball at Texas.
There's probably one in every single level of football I play. Like, I could talk about how varsity whenever my senior year, we broke the curse, the Thanksgiving curse, as we call it. Most years we never really go past the third round, but this year, my senior year, we beat the third round team and went to the fourth round. So it was really amazing. Whereas, like, my little league, I would say, I forgot what team we played, but it was I had an outstanding defensive game, and I kind of helped us win the game. And like I also talk about Texas, not even just a memorable moment, like one moment. I'd say all of them really. Just seeing how like much better I really got over the 4 weeks of spring ball we had, seeing how much like I started understanding the plays a little better, the techniques a little better, and just some personal things like my strike started getting better, my pass set started getting better, and it was also. But if a memorable moment, I probably have to say the spring game, seeing all those fans. I'm used to like probably not even 2,000 people at a game, probably like 900, 800. And it was 30,000 people, and I was also on live TV. It was cool seeing all my friends post me and text me saying good game and all that. So that's probably like my most memorable moment on the field.
I know. That was amazing, seeing you run through that tunnel, because we're normally in the stands.
Yeah.
Watching everybody, to see your son run through that fog and run out there on that field. Oh, man, that was amazing. But you know what? There's so many more of those to come.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm extremely proud of you. For real, yeah. He is right, though, because normally I would talk about it, but hearing you say it, it's a little bit different. So let's talk about how you didn't want to play football. What changed your mind? Who changed your mind? What was that process? Let's talk about that.
I didn't really want to play sports because it didn't really interest me at the moment. I kind of just like going home and just chilling. But until, of course, I started. Well, while I was at home chilling, I also had a trainer named Josh Wise, and I'd go to him all the time. He was just like, "Why you don't play football? Like, you got the size for it all, and they'll take you far in life." But I was like, at that moment, I wasn't even thinking about any college or anything. I was just thinking about going through middle school. Not even really middle school, because I was coming out of intermediate. So I was just like, I don't care about no like sports or like something take me to college. I'll find something to do for that. So then he kind of made a little bet with me. He was like, every game y'all win, I'll buy you a pair of shoes. Because back then, it's like 2016, 2015.
Jordans. He said Jordans.
They were very huge. He said shoes. No. Well, as in shoes, he meant Jordans, of course, because back then that's all people wanted. But I was like, fine, I'll do it. Shoot, I'll win these games and get some shoes. And then I went out there and started playing football. Well, I didn't play football. First, we had like summer workouts type of thing. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, this is too much work. I don't feel like doing all this work just to put on a helmet and pads and just go hit someone. I'm doing too much for that. Then eventually I finally did put on helmets and pads. And at first it was like I had to learn how to tackle and all that, because I was like 10, which is kind of a normal age for somebody to join football. But I had to learn how to tackle, had to learn how to block, had to learn like what gaps were, how plays work, how pass and run plays work, all that. So it really was like, I got to watch some YouTube. I remember I watched a YouTube tutorial on football. I mean, I understood defense and offense, but I didn't really understand like the deep downs of it and all that. I didn't know the names of every single position. So I really studied the game as a young age to understand everything. And after doing that, I really started to love the game. So eventually, of course, we're still playing football for my first year, and we're starting to win games. I ain't even get my shoes. So I was like, you know what? I don't even want the shoes, because I like this sport either way. I'm like, thank you for getting me into it. So he has a huge thanks, because without him, I don't even know what I would have been doing if I wasn't playing football.
I know, because I pushed you in basketball, and that did not work.
I wouldn't say push.
I did. I did.
I'd say more for force.
I forced you?
That's words from you.
I pushed. I'm trying to be a little soft. I did. I kind of, I think, a lot of parents do that sometimes. Andre has always been tall. He came out the womb tall, right? So I was like, no, we doing basketball. You were 4.
Yeah.
And some of those kids were 3, and they were dribbling that ball, and I'm looking at them like, oh my gosh, you'd get the ball. I'll never forget it. You get the ball, you threw it at practice, swish, went in, you fell on the floor. This is boring. I was
and to this day, basketball is still a boring sport to
me. Man, that was crazy.
I only enjoy highlights.
I got you. I got you. But Josh, we thank you because I'm telling you, I couldn't have done it. I mean, I've tried, but after basketball and forcing him, I wasn't going to force him into anything else. So it really, really had to be up to him. So thank you. Okay, cut that. All right, so next.
Yeah, because that was corny.
What was the next, huh?
That was corny.
What was corny?
Thanks. That was too corny.
Oh, that's a blooper. That was about.
Oh, wait, I'm 17, so this is my 7th year playing football.
Mm-hmm.
Much.
But you played in 11U.
Yeah, and I just freshly turned 11.
Right.
So I kind of counted as I was 10. Just to have an even number. So I could keep saying 7 rather than 6.
Right. Okay.
Set me a year ahead.
So 7 years playing the game, going in, not knowing anything about football, really.
Yeah.
Not really interested in it. How did you study the game? Like, I can remember.
YouTube.
Yeah, because I remember in your room, I'd hear the whistle blowing. And I was like, what is he doing? You were studying like a lot.
Yeah.
And I respected you for that because that's hard as a 11-year-old kid doing that. And
I really wouldn't say it's hard. I really say if the kid actually is watching YouTube, then as a parent, you should be like, okay, my kid actually wants this, so I should really help him and feed into him. As going out to you parents, if your kids are really interested in something, feed into them because that's what they want to pursue and push them towards that goal. Kind of like your track experience.
Right. True that. I like that. So how did you go from that process? Let's talk about that process from youth football going into freshman.
It was very difficult, really, because I was going against people my size rather than being the biggest one out there. So it was kind of like dang, like I'm not doing as good as I was in Little League. It was kind of humbling a little bit. Excuse me.
Held that back big time, dude. Just do it. At that point, that was not cool. I had to edit that out. Yeah. So explain that again because I did not understand.
It was a humbling moment due to me going against bigger people than being the biggest one. But of course, I actually do like the sport, so I sat back and I started watching more film, understand how to do certain things, and I came out my sophomore year 2 times better than what I was freshman year. I shocked everybody, honestly. Everybody was like, whoa, this is the same dude from last year. I even got my spot on varsity. I played in the first game of the season. It's too bad I got injured that game. I got injured the scrimmage before that game, but I tried to play through it, but I couldn't even walk on my knee that night. So I was like, yeah, I can't do this no more. I'm trying to hide the injury, which is not a good thing. But, I mean, I confessed about it, and then I sat back and healed, and I got to play the rest of my sophomore year, so nothing was really too lost. So I am happy I confessed about my injury because I could have missed my whole sophomore year than rather getting to come back a couple games later and continue playing. But I did make a huge jump from freshman year to sophomore year.
Absolutely.
Now, going into junior year, I'd say it was more of a decrease kind of thing, kind of staying the same because, I had the offers and all that. And, I mean, I wanted to keep playing hard to get more offers, but it's just like, you know what, people are going to keep offering me and all that. So I didn't really care about that season. I was just like, I just want to offer. So I was kind of just going for little highlight plays. I didn't really care about how the season went and all that. But eventually, my coaches and everybody was like, you have to play for the team, not yourself. Because you still, this team is what you're going to be playing with for the next few weeks, next few months, actually, rather than, it'd be different if, you're about to leave. It's your last game of the year, senior year. But this is my junior year. I started another year with this team. So it's like, don't be picturing yourself as a selfish teammate, especially as an offensive lineman. You're playing with 5 other dudes. Can't really be too selfish on a 5-man play. It's going to be impossible. But from junior year to senior year, I made the biggest jump ever. I actually played. I labeled myself as the best dude to come out of my school.
Yes.
And even though we were in a kind of weak division, I mean, I still played with my heart, gave 100% every single play. Not every single play, because, of course, you're
pancakes.
You're going to be gassed on some plays. But I did start to get, as football players, I'd say that dog in you. I could say it for my senior year. And it was really a great year, honestly. I started, trash talking some more, and also got some football drip, which was very needed, especially being as a D1 high school player. You got to have some drip. But from senior year going
Explain what drip is, because there are going to be some parents that really don't even know
accessories, just putting on accessories on your body and just looking fly on the field, as y'all say, fly. And I guess you could say going from senior year to college was probably a very big or difficult thing because, I'm used to having practice at the end of school when it's hot, 3:30 be on the field, rather than I'm waking up at 4:30, got to go eat breakfast and get ready. I'm on the field at 7:45 in the morning when most of my high school friends is just now going into class. Some of them are still asleep. And I'm just like, dang, this is different. So it was really a good thing I went in early and I got adjusted to waking up early. But the waking up early and hitting people, that was I had to adjust to that too. Because when you wake up in the morning, you're kind of, a little mellow and all that. But I eventually learned how to wake myself up all the way to where I'm wide awake and get ready to go hit people. But I could say a huge difference in between high school and college is high school, it's very rarely going to go against a good player. But in college, every single play, y'all are going 100% versus each other. And that was also another D1 player that was in high school, 4-star, 5-star, 3-star. They're going against you. They're going to give you your all. You're going to give them their all. So y'all could both make each other better, which is also a great thing. Which was a thing I had to understand because in high school I don't have to give my all against the people I went against just because I'm not even trying to staying humble, just a little bit better than some of the average high school people I went against. But now, since it's a college, these are also great players. So it's like you have to give your all every single play because you don't want to look bad on the practice film and they don't want to look bad and get chewed out in the film. You don't want to get chewed out in the film. So it's just best to give 100%, which is something I learned.
Wow, that's awesome, Andre.
And I always watch film. Watching film will help you get better. You can take tips and techniques from people.
You do that on your own in the evenings, right?
Yeah, sometimes I'm in class. Oh. I just be back there watching film.
Wow, I didn't really need to hear that, but
which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
Okay, then. One thing you did mention, you mentioned that we were talking about like everybody was good. So that's like the same thing. Like, how did you feel like when you went to UT and all the linemen are y'all the same height, basically?
Now it's really just like a height and all that. You can't really, beat somebody else just because you're taller than them. Now it really compares to who's actually like better, who knows the plays, who knows defenses, who knows how to read a blitz if somebody's coming or not, which is something I'm pretty good at, but I'm still adjusting to it now. I'm going against, like I said, good players. These players know how to disguise their blitzing and all that, or they'll just pop up like as soon as the play starts with a blitz. So still adjusting to that a little bit, but if it's an obvious blitz, I can call it out.
Awesome.
But like you said, the good players and all that, it's really just like I'd say it's like a game every single day, especially when it's a live scrimmage. It's like a game for real.
Wow. I love it. I love everything you said, and I think it's going to be very, very helpful to the audience.
Yep.
And with that being said, I think I have taken up enough of your time. Do you have anything else you want to say to the people out there?
Stay locked in to whatever you want to pursue, and don't give up on your dreams. And also remember, everything happens for a reason.
Oh, I'm just like over here, just like, full of joy because I'm looking at him and listening to him, and he's such a great interviewer. I've been watching him since he started going to these colleges and stuff, and reporters would pull him to the side and all the mics and phones in his face, and he's just doing what he did today. So thank you, boo.
You are welcome. Thanks for having me on the show.
You are welcome. Oh, we did not say that. But it's kind of hard to say that right now because of...
I don't really know what my position is. Come to fall camp, I could get moved anywhere. Starting off Little League, I played O-line and D-line. I enjoyed D-line way more than offense because I don't really like... Well, back then, I didn't really like to block people. I wanted to be the one, not even really blocking. I said the number one reason why I wanted to play D-line is because when you make a play, everybody's cheering for you. On offense, you don't get cheered for. The running back or the quarterback or the receiver, they're all getting cheered for while y'all just run the PAT. Then y'all get like a little dap up, but it's not as like, hearing your name shouted out on like to hundreds, thousands of people, plus being on TV, have your picture pop up, which was very different. So I was like, you know what, I want to play defense so I can get cheered for all the time when I make a play. But that changed as soon as I hit high school. I got put right at left tackle freshman year. So I had to understand. I played guard in Little League, so now I had to, learn how to go against a defensive end rather than a defensive tackle, which is a very huge difference. One's faster than the other, one's smaller than the other. So I had to learn how to go against them. Then going into my sophomore year, I got moved to right guard to go play up on varsity. I had to replace somebody. Then, of course, later on going through the season, I got moved to right tackle. Then I got bumped over to left guard, then left tackle. And I kind of just stayed there for the rest of my high school career. Going into college, I got put at left tackle too. So that's kind of my position right now. But I know how to play every position on the O-line.
And that's key.
A big key.
Loves that.
It's a big key.
Yeah, NFL loves that. They want you
to be versatile. Is great. So learn how to pass set or take your steps from every single position on the line. Even learn how to snap the ball and take your steps. I say if you know how to play center too, that'll boost everything. But knowing how to play the 4 positions is great.
You ever think about getting your own podcast? You're pretty awesome.
Not really.
You're pretty awesome. I love it. Okay.
My bad. That was kind of like a not really. I just don't really want this.
That's you though.
I would maybe interview people I know and all that. I mean, it would probably go very famous and all that. Yeah. I might look into it.
I think you're good. You're very good. I'm checking it out, So, hey, you guys, look, we're going to end it here. The Hidden Huddle with André Cojoe. Go check him out, number 77, University of Texas. And I said I wasn't going to do it, but you know what? Hook 'em, baby. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Please don't forget to do that. And cut on the bell notifications. It's very, very important because I want you guys, I don't want y'all to miss nothing that I got going on. Okay? Purr.